You know, this is supposed to be an intuitive painting. I need to embrace the alien head mermaid. My friends, hello. Today we're going to do some art. And normally what I've been doing is I've been using tarot cards to do a 4-card spread that would tell me what kind of art to make. But today I wanted to try something a little different. I wanted to play around with intuitive art. And I thought a good idea would be to grab one of my oracle decks, and in this case I'm going to be using Wisdom of the Shadow, which is an awesome oracle deck. You have to check this out. If you want to take a look, I've actually done a flip through of this deck, and it's just stunning. And you know, if you really want to go through all the cards and check them out, go take a look at that video. I'll probably pop it up in the info card so you can take a look. This deck is fantastic because it's all about self-discovery and transformation. And here's a sample of some of the cards. And it's the key words on the cards are very emotional. They definitely stir some emotions within. And I thought that would be great to pull a card from this deck so that we can get an idea of the kind of emotion that we want to display in our art. And let's open up the box right now and get some shuffling done. And the idea here is just to pick one of the cards, see what it says, and then use that as a starting point to getting my intuition going to make this piece of art. And the whole idea behind the intuitive art is just to go with your gut. You don't think about what you're going to draw. You don't think about the colors. You just use whatever colors come to you in the moment. You draw whatever shapes come to you in the moment. But what I wanted to do was just have that just foundation that will tell me what kind of emotion I'm trying to invoke through the art piece. So let's give these cards a shuffle. There's less cards in here than in the tarot deck. I think this deck has 44 cards. And I'm kind of excited to see what comes up here. Just going to keep going until I feel like I'm ready. I think we need just one more. And then we'll pull from the very top. Or we can just pull the one that flew right out. Let's do that. Okay. So, you ready? The word is emotion. I was talking about emotions, and the actual word that we're looking at is emotions. So we need this piece to be very emotional. It's got to stir something inside of us when you look at it. So I think we're going to leave this card to the side, bring out our art supplies, and see what our intuition tells us to do with emotion. Since this project was going to be based on the word emotion, I figured I was going to use watercolors because emotions are associated with water, and water is associated with the suit of cups in tarot, even though we're using an oracle deck. That's besides the point. The fact is, emotions are associated with water, so I just whipped out the watercolors and said, let's have some fun. Let's have a nice play here. So this time I taped down my paper. If you took a look at one of my previous videos where I attempted watercolor, I didn't tape anything down and it became a warped mess. The paper was bent in all different places. It wasn't pretty. So I put the tape down, and not only does this keep it nice and flat, it also creates a really pretty finished border around your art piece. So I decided, again, this is an intuitive painting, so I wasn't going to focus on specific colors. I wasn't going to worry about the shapes I was creating. I was just randomly putting down paint wherever my heart told me to. But now you'll see that I'm being a little more specific with the shapes that I am putting down. but that's only me kind of outlining the shapes that I see that were created from the very first moment I put the paints down and when I took the blow dryer to dry the paint. After the paint was dry, I started to see things in the art. So I thought it would be fun to kind of just outline the shapes that I started to see, and I was hoping that something would emerge out of that. Again, I have no idea what I see yet. I just see specific shapes and I'm outlining them and filling them in and waiting to see what comes out of it. Now, the little guy on the lower right corner of the painting is starting to look a little bit like an alien head mermaid. I don't know if you see that. Do you see that? Do you see an alien head mermaid? I I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I was thinking, well, maybe if I just keep on going, something else will emerge. I don't know. But so far, all I'm seeing is an alien head mermaid. And on the lower left side, that looks a little bit like a fluffy teddy bear dog type creature. I don't know, but it looks fluffy. It looks like a stuffed animal of some kind. I wasn't really sure where I was going with this, but at the same time, it kind of has this human head profile. Um, so that was bugging me a little bit. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with that. Now, in this part of the painting, I started to see a woman kind of pushing out with full force. So I took one of my pencils and I figured I would try to outline that a little bit more, um, just to see if I can get a better image of that. So I started, again, grabbing random colors, whatever colors I felt were appropriate for the moment, and kind of filling in the background. But I don't know if you can see her face right now. It's kind of, her face is in profile, and she's got red hair, and she has her arms outstretched in front of her. You can't really see the arms very clearly, but you might see the beginnings of it. Right now, I'm still just painting in the background. And now I'm outlining her arms and giving her body a little bit more shape so you can get a better idea of where she's situated in the painting now. And I like the idea that she had her arms outstretched because to me that kind of looked like she was just pushing out all her emotions and just throwing them out there for the world. And I thought that was a good way of incorporating the word emotion into the painting, but I still felt like it needed to show a little bit more of that. I think just the way it was with her arms stretched out, you can't really tell that that's emotion. She could just be doing a yoga stretch. I don't know. At this point, I felt like our little fluffy animal, whatever it is, on the lower left, I needed to get rid of that little nose that gave it a human profile, and I kind of made it look less like a little sphinx child and more like maybe a dog bear, a teddy dog. I don't know. But it looks more like an animal now. So I'm playing around with colors again. Again, trying not to give it too much thought. I think though I did want to do something about let's call them the paws of the animal, the little paws at the front, because I started making shapes with them, and see, I think okay. The problem is my brain wants to make pictures out of these things. And I know this is probably not how you do intuitive paintings, but I need to see some kind of imagery of some kind. I mean, it could still be abstract, but I need a little something, a little something. So I started, you'll see that where her body is, I started to draw some curved lines that look like something was radiating from her body, and I was trying to make those curved lines represent the emotions that were coming out. And I also have some curved lines that are going in the direction of her forehead. So the idea is that emotions are coming in, emotions are flowing out, and I just wanted all of those curved lines in the different places within the painting just to represent emotions coming in and going out in all directions. So once I've finished with the emotion lines, then I started drawing, painting little circles and then drawing circles around those smaller circles and just trying to make it a little more interesting, trying to add more details to it. And it's so funny because I don't know when this happened, but it looks like our little teddy bear doggy now has Mary Jane's as shoes. I don't I don't understand how that happened, but there it is. So anyway, at this point, I think I just wanted to get rid of that alien head mermaid because I didn't understand what it was doing there. So I was just grabbing all sorts of colors and just trying to cover it up because in my mind, it didn't make any sense. It didn't need to be there. And then I started looking at it and thinking, well, that's kind of a mess. So I took a paper towel and tried to get rid of it. And I thought, this is supposed to be an intuitive painting. I need to embrace the alien head mermaid. So that's exactly what I did. I grabbed my Micron pen and drew scales on it, drew the little lines on the tail to make it look even more like a mermaid. And I just went with it because it needed to be there. I tried to cover it up. I'm like, no, don't start thinking logically about this. This is supposed to be just a flow of intuition. And if that's what came up, you just need to embrace it. So that's what I did. And now I'm just going all the way now. Now I'm adding seaweed to the mix. I'm like, if this mermaid is going to be here, this mermaid needs to have a home. So there we have our seaweed floating in the middle of what's supposed to be an ocean, perhaps? I don't know. This is intuitive painting. We don't need to define anything, right? And at this point, I'm starting to put the emotion lines over the alien mermaid's head, making the alien mermaid have emotions. And I'm thinking, is this alien head mermaid now going to be the star of the show instead of this woman? But no, I think the alien head mermaid is still a side character, but still important enough to also be showing emotions. And now I'm taking my white Jelly Roll pen and just adding some more fun little lines and details. Again, just to make it interesting. Not sure what the meaning behind that could be, but we've already fulfilled our emotions in here, right? We've already fulfilled that aspect of the painting. Now it's just about making little highlights, throwing in some shading, and just making it more interesting. So there you have it, folks, my very first intuitive painting based on an Oracle deck card pull. I had a blast doing it. If you were entertained by my ridiculousness and going through this process, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.